Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu wasallam ala Muhammad. The Quran is great, but we did not really serve it as should be served. We did not bring out its treasures and the beauty of its verses. That is why I decided to do that within the remaining of my life, hoping that Allah would reward me for this, making Allah witness that I seek thereby no fame, no reputation, but pleasing the Creator of the heavens and the earth only. And He deserves it. Every good you see on earth, it should remind you of the good, of the best, not only the good. Every beauty on earth should remind you of the beauty of its Creator. Here I am, reciting some verses, exploring, commenting, translating it at the same time. And here I begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين وإنهم ليصدونهم عن السبيل ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون حتى إذا جاءنا قال يا ليت بيني وبينك بعد المشرقين فبئس القرين ولن ينفعكم اليوم إذ ظلمتم أنكم في العذاب مشتركون. And whoever is blinded from the remembrance of the Most Merciful, we appoint for him a devil, and that devil is to him a companion. And they indeed avert them from the way of guidance, while thinking that they are rightly guided, until when he comes to us, that means at the day of judgment, will be saying, حتى إذا جاءنا قال يا ليت بيني وبينك بعد المشرقين فبئس القرين. Until when he comes to us at the day of judgment, will be saying, I wish there was a distance between me and you, similarly to the distance between east and west. What a worst companion you are. وَلَنْ يَنْفَعَكُمُ الْيَوْمَ إِذْ ظَلَمْتُمْ أَنَّكُمْ فِي الْعَذَابِ مُشْتَرِكُونَ. But despite this dispute between mankind and his enemy, the devil, his enemy, who was invisible to him, and now at the day of judgment he can see him, and he starts disputing with him, while both are in hell. He'll be saying to him, I wish there was a distance between east and west. Just like that is the distance between me and you. But Allah said eventually, but this will never be beneficial to you at that day when you have wronged, that you are all sharing in the punishment. And never will it benefit you at that day when you have wronged, that you are all sharing in the punishment. أفأنت تسمع الصم أو تهدي العمي ومن كان في ضلال مبين. Or do you think that you can make the deaf hear, O Muhammad? Or guide the blind who is in clear error? فإما نذهبن بك فإنا منهم منتقمون. And whether or not we take you away, that means to death, O Muhammad, the Prophet, we'll take retribution upon them. أو نرينك الذي وعدناهم فإنا عليهم مقتدرون. Or whether or not we show you that which we have promised them, indeed we are perfect in ability. We're able to do that. فاستمسك بالذي أوحي إليك إنك على صراط مستقيم. Then, O Muhammad, adhere to that which was revealed to you. Indeed, you are on a straight path. وإنه لذكر لك ولقومك وسوف تسألون. واسأل من أرسلنا من قبلك من رسلنا أجعلنا من دون الرحمن آلهة يعبدون. And it is indeed a remembrance for you and your people, and you all are going to be questioned. So go ahead and ask those we sent before you of our messengers, have we made besides the most merciful deities to be worshipped? It is a remembrance to you and to your people. The remembrance of Mecca as you see it today. The remembrance of the Prophet. There is no call for the prayer. There is no call for monotheism, the call for pure worship, the call for prayer. When you hear the adhan, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. As you see, I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. You often hear it wherever you go today, east, west, south, north, you always hear it. It's a remembrance for you and your people, and you'll be asked. And also, it has another meaning. It's a remembrance for you and your people. It's a remembrance for God. It's a notice from heaven unto you and your people, and you'll be asked about this. ولقد أرسلنا موسى بآياتنا إلى فرعون وملئه فقال إني رسول رب العالمين. Certainly we did send Musa, with our signs to Pharaoh, and his establishment, his people, his followers, his soldiers. Then Musa said to them, indeed, I am the messenger of the Lord of the worlds. فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ بِآيَاتِنَا إِذَا هُمْ مِنْهَا يَضْحَكُونَ. But when he brought them our signs, at once they laughed at him. وما نريهم من آية إلا هي أكبر من أختها وأخذناهم بالعذاب لعلهم يرجعون. And we never showed them any sign, but it was a greater sign than its sister. And we seized them with affliction, perhaps happily, that they may return. That means returning to faith. We don't show them a sign, a miracle, but it's greater than its sister. And we have taken them by some punishment, that they may return. There is a good notice here, that God may subject you to some punishment, lively punishment, that you may return. Things that may scare you, and there is no one to protect you except the Creator of those whom you are scared of. There is no one. Where is the asylum? How can we run away from God? Where to? The run will eventually return to God. You can't. And there is no one that when you ever fear Him, you run to Him except one. That is Allah. وقالوا يا أيها الساحر ادع لنا ربك بما عهد عندك إننا لمهتدون. And they said, oh magician, they're subjected to God's punishment, and now they're going to ask Musa to ask Allah to release them from this affliction. Yet, I want you to imagine their haughtiness and arrogance. O magician, invoke for us your Lord by what He has promised you. Indeed, we will be guided. If you want to be guided, why do you call him magician? He's not. فلما كشفنا عنهم العذاب إذا هم ينكثون وقالوا يا أيها الساحر ادع لنا ربك بما عهد عندك إننا لمهتدون فلما كشفنا عنهم العذاب إذا هم ينكثون. But when we removed from them the affliction, at once they broke their word. ونادى فرعون في قومه قال يا قوم أليس لي ملك مصر وهذه الأنهار تجري من تحتي أفلا تبصرون. And Pharaoh called out among his people, saying to them, O my people, doesn't the kingdom of Egypt belong to me? And these rivers are flowing beneath me? Then don't you see? Yes, the believers saw after that you were beneath the river eventually. You were drowned. Blessed Allah. How great is His decree. He was addressing them, saying to them, don't you see that I'm the owner of Egypt? Don't you see those rivers are flowing beneath me? Subhanallah. Praise be to Allah. Eventually, finally, his consequence was this. He was beneath the river, in the depth of the river. أم أنا خير من هذا الذي هو مهين ولا يكاد يبين. Or am I not better than this one, Musa, who is insignificant and hardly makes himself clear? Who's better? He's comparing himself. Who's better? Look at me. Compare me to him. Or compare him to me. He can't even talk soundly, properly. Who's better? I should be the better. That's his assessment. That's his judgment. That's his scale. فلولا ألقي عليه أسورة من ذهب فلولا ألقي عليه أسورة من ذهب أو جاء معه الملائكة مقترنين. Then why have there not been placed upon him bracelets? Then why have there not been placed upon him bracelets of gold, or come with him the angels in conjunction? Shouldn't he be receiving a bracelet of gold from heaven to prove himself? Wait a minute. He showed you the snake, the stick that became snake. That was not enough. فاستخف قومه فأطاعوه إنهم كانوا قوما فاسقين. So he bluffed his people and they obeyed him. Why? Why he was able to bluff them, to deceive them, to delude them? How could he be convincing them to this, to believe what he's saying? The answer comes. إنهم كانوا قوما فاسقين. Indeed, they were themselves a people that are deviantly disobedient to Allah. فلما آسفونا انتقمنا منهم فأغرقناهم أجمعين فجعلناهم سلفا ومثلا للآخرين. But when they angered us, we took retribution from them and drowned them all, those who followed him when he was chasing Musa. Then we made them a precedent, an example for those who are later to come. ولما ضرب ابن مريم مثلا إذا قومك منه يصدون. And when the son of Mary, son of Maryam, Isa, was presented to you, O Muhammad, as an example, immediately your people laughed aloud. وقالوا أآلهتنا خير أم هو ما ضربوه لك إلا جدلا بل هم قوم خصمون. And they said, are your gods better, or is he, Isa? They didn't present this kind of comparison except for mere argument, but in fact there are people prone to dispute. إن هو إلا عبد أنعمنا عليه وجعلناه مثلا لبني إسرائيل ولو نشاء لجعلنا منكم ملائكة في الأرض يخلفون. But he, Isa, wasn't but a servant upon whom we bestowed favor, and we made him an example for the children of Israel. And if we willed, we could have made instead of you people upon the earth, angels succeeding one another. وإنه لعلم للساعة فلا تمترن بها واتبعون هذا صراط مستقيم. And indeed, he, that means Isa, will be a sign for knowledge of the hour. So be in doubt of it, and follow me. This is the straight path. He will be a sign for the final hour. There will never be a people among the people of the book when he will be descending again. When he will be descended again, but they'll be believing in him. But a proper kind of belief that he's a servant just like one of them. He was worshipping God Almighty. So why does some have to worship him while he was worshipping the one alone? So Allah made Isa also a timing or a noticed term that becomes a sign for the hereafter, for the coming of the hereafter. I'll repeat it. وَإِنَّهُ لَعِلْمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ فَلَا تَمْتَرُنَّ بِهَا وَاتَّبِعُونِ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. And indeed, he, that means Isa, will be a sign of knowledge for the hour, of the hours. So be not in doubt of it and follow me. This is a straight path. وَلَا يَصُدَّنَّكُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. And never let the devil avert you. Indeed, he's to you a clear, manifest enemy. So we're supposed to be taking him an enemy, not to worship him, not to be devil worships. In the midst of this civilized age we're living in, imagine, the devil has temples, has Bible. It's really amazing that there is a Bible of the devil nowadays. Seeking what? His protection? He's an enemy. How do you seek protection from your enemy? وَلَمَّا جَاءَ عِيسَى بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ قَالَ قَدْ جِئْتُكُمْ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَلِأُبَيِّنَ لَكُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي تَخْتَلِفُونَ فِيهِ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ رَبِّي وَرَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُوهُ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. But when Isa himself brought clear proofs, he said, I have come to you with wisdom of prophethood, and to make clear to you some of that which you have differed. So fear Allah and obey me. Verily Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship Him. This is a straight path. فاختلف الأحزاب من بينهم فويل للذين ظلموا من عذاب يوم أليم. But the factions, denominations, as we see nowadays, from among themselves differed and separated. What is the nature of Jesus? Is He one nature and two wills, or two natures and one will? Is he dual person, divine, and the second is human? And they kept arguing about him. Is he literally the Son of God, or he is metaphorically the Son of God? A great, these contradictions, it's just like waves. And they all are in doubts, full of doubts. But here, Allah is making it clear. This is the final revelation. This is the final testament. Makes things clear to you about what people are until today disputing about. هل ينظرون إلا الساعة أن تأتيهم بغتة وهم لا يشعرون الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين يا عباد لا خوف عليكم اليوم ولا أنتم تحزنون يا عباد لا خوف عليكم اليوم ولا أنتم تحزنون. But the factions, denominations from among themselves differed and separated, so woe to those who have wronged from the punishment of the painful punishment. So woe to those who have wronged from the punishment of a painful day. Are they awaiting nothing but the hour to come upon them suddenly, while they do not perceive it? الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. At that day, close friends will be extreme enemies to each other, except those righteous, sincere, purely worshippers of Allah. That is the exception. So now Allah is addressing those servants of Him. يا عبادي لا خوف عليكم اليوم ولا أنتم تحزنون. O my servants, there is no fear upon you this day, and you should never have any grievance, neither grieve nor be sad. There is no fear on you, and you will never be grieving. This is the day of sorrow. This is the day of loss, and that day will be the day of sorrow for the loss that have taken place here, that have been taking place here. الذين آمنوا بآياتنا وكانوا مسلمين ادخلوا الجنة أنتم وأزواجكم تحبرون. Those who had believed in our signs, verses, and they were surrendering, submissive to Him. Muslim. وَكَانُوا مُسْلِمِينَ. The religion, with Allah's perspective, in Allah's sight, is Islam. That's it. It is a title of religion. Submission is the title of religion. Everything between the relationship between you and Allah is based on your submission to Him. Why not? He's perfect in will, perfect in power, perfect in knowledge, perfect in decision taking, perfect in His mercy. Why not really submit to Him? You submit to your director for some thousands of dollars. You ready to submit to him? Show him your loyalty? I mean, isn't Allah more deserving for this? الذين آمنوا بآياتنا وكانوا مسلمين ادخلوا الجنة أنتم وأزواجكم تحبرون. You who have believed in our verses and were Muslims, enter paradise. You and your kinds, your spouses, those who have similar case like you, all get into paradise. Delighted. يطاف عليهم بصحاف من ذهب وأكواب وفيها ما تشتهيه الأنفس وتلذ الأعين وأنتم فيها خالدون. وتلك الجنة التي أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون لكم فيها فاكهة كثيرة منها تأكلون. Circulated among them will be plates and vessels of gold, And therein is whatever the souls desire, and what delights the eye, and you will abide therein eternally. وَفِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِيهِ الْأَنفُسُ. In it, in paradise, there is whatever the souls desire, and whatever makes the eye cool, happy. وتلك الجنة التي أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون لكم فيها فاكهة كثيرة منها تأكلون. And that is paradise which you are made to inherit for what you used to do. You inherit for what you used to do. For you therein is much fruit, which is never to be compared with the fruits of our worldly life. Yes, the names are similar, but the quality differs. For you therein is much fruit from which you will eat. Now, the addressing is directed to the other people. إن المجرمين في عذاب جهنم خالدون. Indeed, the criminals will be in the punishment of hell, abiding eternally. لا يفتر عنهم وهم فيه مبلسون. وما ظلمناهم ولكن كانوا هم الظالمين. Indeed, the criminals will be in the punishment of hell, abiding eternally. It will not be allowed to subside for them, and they therein are in despair. وما ظلمناهم ولكن كانوا هم الظالمين. We did not wrong them, but it was they who were the wrongdoers. ونادوا يا مالك ليقض علينا ربك. ونادوا يا مالك ليقض علينا ربك قال إنكم ماكثون لقد جئناكم بالحق ولكن أكثركم للحق كارهون. And they'll call Malik, the guardian of hell. Because of their despair, they'll be calling Malik, the guardian of hell. Oh Malik, let your Lord put an end for us. That means death. Then Malik's reply will be, indeed, you are returning. Indeed, you are remaining. Sorry. Indeed, you are remaining. We have certainly brought you the truth, but most of you to the truth were rejectors. أم أبرموا أمرا فإنا مبرمون أم يحسبون أنا لا نسمع سرهم ونجواهم بلى ورسلنا لديهم يكتبون. Or have they devised some affair, but indeed we have planned already also? or they think that they have plotted, but we also plotted. Or they think that we do not hear their secret and private conversation. Yes, we do. And our messengers are too, writing, recording.
قل إن كان للرحمن ولد فأنا أول العابدين سبحان رب السماوات والأرض رب العرش عما يصفون.
Say, O Muhammad, if the Most Merciful had a son, truly he has a son, so I'll be the first to worship. But where is he? There isn't. This is only supposing it were so, which is not. That's why Allah said, Subhana Rabbi Samawati. Exalted is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. That means from having that kind of false notion to be in reality. Exalted is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the Lord of the throne above that they describe.
فذرهم يخوضوا ويلعبوا حتى يلاقوا يومهم الذي يوعدون.
So leave them to converse vainly and amuse themselves until the moment they meet their day, which they are promised.
وهو الذي في السماء إله وفي الأرض إله وهو الحكيم العليم.
So as a refutation to those who say that Jesus was in the heaven and he went on earth, and on earth he was worshiping God, as the Bible testified, confessed, which you find it clearly in the New Testament, that Jesus used to be falling to the ground with his face to the ground, and which we do it nowadays, not Christians. He used to be falling with his face to the ground and worshiping God. And when the devil, according to the New Testament, when the devil said to him, I will give you all the land you see if you just but worship me or bow down to me. So as a reply, Jesus said to him, it was written in the scriptures, to God alone you worship, and to him only you prostrate. Lillahi wahdahu tasjud wa iyyahu ta'bud. As in the Arabic Bible, which something wrong happened to the translation in English. Tasjud, that means you bow down with your face to the ground. It was written in the scriptures that to God alone you prostrate, and to him only you worship. Something wrong happened to the English translation. But why it's in Arabic like this? To him only you prostrate. Now, and to him only you worship. Wait a minute, didn't Jesus do that? Didn't he apply it on himself? Well, let's the Bible judge. Let's the Bible confess. The Bible said yes, he used to do so. So how do you worship someone who used to be worshiping someone other than the one you worship? You worship to him, but he was worshipper to him. Doesn't this make sense? That's why Allah said, and it is He, Allah, who is the only deity in the heaven and on earth. He is also Ilah, deity. Ilah means He is the only one that is being worshipped in heaven, and He is worshipped on earth. So those, as an answer to those who worship Jesus, yet they confess that He was on earth, and He was on earth. So there is no one in heaven and on earth, but He is worshipper and servant to Him. This is an answer.
وهو الذي في السماء إله وفي الأرض إله وهو الحكيم العليم وتبارك الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما وعنده علم الساعة وإليه ترجعون.
And praise be to him is he to whom belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them, and with whom is knowledge of the hour, and to whom you will be returned.
ولا يملك الذين يدعون من دونه الشفاعة إلا من شهد بالحق وهم يعلمون.
And none will be possessing the shafa'ah, the intermediary, mediation, except him whom Allah had given the authority or the ability or allowed him the permission. So no one among those whom you invoke besides Allah, none of them can have the possession, the power of intercession, but only those who testify to the truth. And they know.
وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُم مَّنْ خَلَقَهُمْ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ فَأَنَّىٰ يُؤْفَكُونَ.
And if you ever ask them who created them, they would surely say to you, it is Allah. So how they are deluded then? If you believe that He is the only creator, no one else had any kind of share with Him in creating you, so why do you make a share with Him in worship? Why should it be?
وقيله يا رب إن هؤلاء قوم لا يؤمنون فاصفح عنهم وقل سلام فسوف يعلمون.
And Allah acknowledges His saying, O my Lord, indeed these are a people who do not believe. Then Allah said, so turn aside from them and say peace. When they address you with their offensive statements, with their harming words, then say to them nothing but peace, because soon they will be knowing. They are going to know.
فاصفح عنهم وقل سلام فسوف يعلمون.